everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for joining me today for a 2018 Topps themed episode here on the channel. We're going to look at 4 pickups that I've made for my baseball card collection over the course of the last few months. I haven't shown any of them on the channel yet, and the common theme among them, they are all from 2018 and feature the Topps, flagship or chrome design from that year. And as a quick review, for those who aren't modern collectors or maybe don't know, here's a look at a 2018 card that I've shown before. I had this laying around from a recent video. This is the Miguel Cabrera Independence Day, so you won't typically see this red, white, and blue background. That's unique to this parallel, but the design remains the same. You have the team logo, this kind of wave element, then a couple of banners there with the team name and a player name. And so a really nice set that I've been a fan of over the years. I've picked up quite a few singles from that release. And the third reason that I love it, the Red Sox had a wonderful 2018 season, culminating in their most recent World Series championship. So for me personally, as a Red Sox fan and someone living in New England, that kind of adds a little bit of extra emphasis or cool factor to this release. So many reasons why I love this set. That's enough rambling. Let's get to the 4 new pickups. And the Red Sox success in that season is the perfect segue into the first pickup. And it's this 2018, obviously, Topps Chrome Blue Wave Refractor Mookie Betts. This is a recent eBay win, probably, if I'm being honest, the worst time to be buying Mookie Betts right now because he is just having a torrid start to the season and is the early, very, very early front runner, I would say, for NL MVP. But this here is the Blue Wave Refractor. These are numbered to 75, copy 47 of 75. And while I haven't been buying a lot of Mookie Betts of late, just because of his current price surge, this is an exception that I made, and I picked this up at auction just because I'm trying to get as many different versions of his 2018 Topps, flagship and chrome, anything with this image on it, as I can. Because of his year that year, not only did he win a World Series with the Red Sox, but he was instrumental in bringing that title to Boston with a batting title and an MVP in the 2018 season as well. And depending on how he ends up doing here in 2024, so far, I would make the argument that 2018 is the best year of his career. He may match that this year. Last year was probably a close second, amazingly, and we'll see how he does in 2024. But again, due to that and the fact that I love this image, trying to get as many of these. So I went after this Mookie, even though it's probably the worst time to buy a Mookie card. So there you go. That's a recent eBay win. And then going along with that nicely, and one of the other reasons I was kind of attracted to that card or wanted to pick that one up, a nice counterpart to it, and the second card of 4 that we're going to see today is the standard Topps Chrome Blue Refractor. And apologies for the lighting here. I'll try to get this at a better angle. This card has kind of a cool backstory because I bought this ungraded this past winter on ComC for around $20, if you can believe that. And I use the feature, which is very convenient, and I've done it a few times now, where you can submit a card for grading to a grading company directly from ComC. So after I bought this, took about 2 clicks of the mouse and about 20 seconds of my time and about $22 of my ComC credit. And this got shipped out the door to PSA, where amazingly it received a Gem Mint 10. This is the only PSA 10 you're going to see in today's video. And that's because I don't really buy PSA 10s or pay up for them on my own. But of course, if I sub a card like I did here and it comes back at 10, that's just a bonus. I'm not going to turn that down. So really nice bets here. This is more popular than the Wave Refractor. So even though there are 75 copies only of the Wave and there are 150 of the blue, twice as many, this card would have a higher resale value or would be more desirable within the collector's market than the Wave, just because I think the Wave is newer, hasn't really caught on as much, and there are a lot of collectors that just like the plain old colored refractors. So awesome card here. Really happy to get this and to pair it up with the Wave and knock 2 more off of my 2018 Topps Mookie Betts Pursuit. Next up, and the reason why we have this Joe D that's been hanging out in the background, did a whole video on these recently, these Topps Retired Legends short prints that they put in the flagship release every year and applied the flagship design to these retired greats. This program went on from 2009 through 2022, and I have a 2018 one to share today. Of course, this was encompassed in that range, and I was able to land recently the Nolan Ryan. And this is a card that I have actually wanted for quite a while. Comes from, as you can see here on the flip, 2018 Topps Update in this case. But I love the image here of Nolan sitting in the dugout, sort of pensively considering things. I don't recall having seen this on any other trading card. And, for all the dozens or even hundreds of pitching and action cards that I have in my collection of Nolan Ryan, who I tend to player collect because he was a favorite from my youth, this image kind of stands alone or is just really unique, and I was drawn to it. And aside from that, as I talked about in that previous video, I just love the Retired Legends short prints variations as it is. Just a big fan of that program. So I don't have many graded ones. Most of mine are just as they came out of the pack, like Joe DiMaggio back there. But this went up at auction, and the price to bring this home was too good to resist. If I recall, I got this for around the cost of a retail blaster of product, maybe that $25 price point. And as a Nolan Ryan collector, that is a great way to augment my vintage collection that I have of him with something on the modern front that kind of pairs up nicely with those older cards. And then lastly, I have what's a pretty big card here. It's a little bit bittersweet now versus had I shown it off a week or two ago, because unfortunately he is hurt again. But I don't regret buying it. It's a card that I've coveted for years now. And through circumstance over this past winter, making some sales of some other cards and having some discretionary hobby funds available as a result, and this one going up at a cheaper price point than I have ever seen it in my recollection. All of that came together, and I acquired the Independence Day Mike Trout. So obviously, in every year's Topps release, and every release for that matter, he tends to be one of the most expensive players, typically the most or one of the most expensive non-rookie players, just because there's a rabid following out there for Trout. It was such a bummer to see him go down again. It's really starting to look more and more like a big part of his legacy is going to be an inability to stay on the field, and he's going to become somewhat of a what could have been case in terms of his career numbers. I'm still hopeful. He's still a young guy. I sound like a broken record saying it. He's in his early 30s. He hopefully still has many years ahead. And as he showed for the month that he was active this year, when he is healthy and in the game, he is arguably still the best player in baseball. He was leading the league in home runs when he went down, I believe, and he had already achieved double-digit number of home runs just in a month or so's time. So big loss. I do hope he can bounce back. I know the Angels indicated that it's not a season-ending injury, but I feel like we've heard that before, and it tends to be a season-ending injury with Mike Trout. But on a more positive note, this card makes me smile. It's easily a top card in my Mike Trout collection, being that first-year Independence Day parallel. It is not an easy card to obtain. It is not necessarily a cheap card to obtain, and I'm really glad that after a few years of desiring this, I finally managed to get a copy, and couldn't be more pleased that I found it in a PSA 9. So that's going to be the final card in today's video. We'll keep it nice and neat in under 10 minutes, but just wanted to get to this quartet of recent 2018 Topps pickups. Really love this set. I will continue to be on the hunt for these in the future, both Mookie Betts and otherwise. And in the meantime, I appreciate you stopping by today to check out the new additions to the collection. Would love to hear from you in the comments if you have a favorite card from the 2018 Topps set or a player that you really enjoy chasing from this release. And in the meantime, I hope everybody's enjoying the hobby, and I'll be back soon. Take care.